Hello. I am just working on a design that I shared yesterday. Waiting for a few folks to join us. My name is Jess. I am the education coordinator for the Southern Alleghenies Museum of Art. And this is my second week of classes with everybody. And we're doing... Hi, Nancy. We're doing Zentangles. And we have been. And today we're going to do some enhancements. So as you see here, I am working on one that I shared yesterday. And just adding a few embellishments to it. They're called tangulations, and they are created when an original existing tangle is varied or altered. So I'm just going to review some past tangles with you and show you how you can enhance them. So I'm going to get started to keep everyone on task here. So Nipa was one that I've seen a lot of variations of. If I can find, here's our original one. So a series of kind of squiggly lines and circles. And I did show you, the other day how to add some embellishments to it. But some of the ones that I saw were really cool. So I just wanted to go down here and share how you can, spice up your tangles a little bit. So the Nipa, again, it's just a series of circles. I'm going to go a little bigger today. I don't want to take up a whole lot of time. I am getting company. Nancy, do you have any pets at home? I have a 14-year-old pug who is making his way up my steps because he doesn't like that I'm not downstairs with him. So you'll probably hear him snorting and grunting as he walks in my room. So I have my circles in there, and I think what I'll do first is show you one way you can alter them. Hi, Cash. He's mad. It's getting close to dinner time. He wants to eat. So what we can do is create a little C shape in there. And if you want, you could do two. You could leave one white and color it in if you'd like. Again, I'm using pencil just because if I make mistakes, it's okay. That's what I love about this. You can make mistakes, keep on going. Most of the time, people won't even know if you share your designs with them. So that's one way to do it. Everything is always more striking when you're using your micron pens. Oh, a 14-year-old. Oh, it sounds beautiful, Nancy. I have a blue heeler too. He's a pup. He'll be 5 this year. And as a matter of fact, he's laying on the bed next to me sleeping. He's a handful, but I love them both. They keep me company. So another one we could do, and actually, you could do a little like Crescent Moon shape and give yourself, a simple design. You can also just draw and shade like you would be making a spear. I've been doing an intro to drawing class on YouTube and sharing it with a local university that I teach for. So we're kind of all speared out there, but I just took a tissue and rolled it up to give myself a nice little point. That one's very used. But you could blend or use an eraser if you like, to give yourself a little bit of shading there. And again, don't forget to draw in your lines. I hope that someday I can meet you guys, because a lot of you I don't know. So with the Nipa, it's fairly easy. But those are just some variations you can do. If you like this pattern and want to, change it up a little bit, that's fine. You could also give yourself little patterns in these designs if you wanted, and have a little bit of fun with it. So the other, clear out some of my stuff here. The other variation, I guess I should say tangulation of Nipa. I like this one. You can do squares. I imagine you could do triangles too, if you wanted. Have a little bit of fun with it. And for this, just you could do something simple, and just shade, two of your edges. If you wanted, you could switch it up and do your other side. I don't know that it really matters. But this one I liked. It was a little different. They seem to, I'll bring that one down, connect the squares a little bit. And normally we see the lines almost running behind the circles. So I thought that was kind of cool. Then you can make it go at an angle. Hey Kylie, how you doing? So that's it for the Nipa. It was just a fun, easy pattern. You can change it up a little bit. Another one that we did was the Crescent Moon, which is right here and right here. So you can see I have it in two different, this was more of just a refresher course for everybody, and this was a practice tangle that I did. So you see you have these like half moon shapes, and you outline one or two rows depending on how big your shape is, and then you almost have like a maze pattern, and it closes as you get in closer to the center. So what I'm going to do here, I'm not going to color them all in, but I will color one in. I feel like my voice is going out a little bit. While I'm coloring, I'll do two. I want to remind you all that all of our SAMA locations are offering online classes. We might say certain ages, but I think they're kind of for everyone. We also have a YouTube channel. Kylie's on here. Kylie's going to start uploading some of our Facebook videos that we're doing now onto YouTube. So you kind of have a reference library to go back and check things out and do some art activities if you want. So that's pretty awesome. Sama Bedford goes live every day. Sama Altoona is, I believe, doing Tuesdays and Thursdays. Kylie, correct me if I'm wrong. And I'm trying to do Monday through Thursday. And our buddy Kristen over at Sama Ligonier is doing like a artist studio visits, which is kind of cool. So, if you're looking for something to do, go like each one of our pages. We're all doing something different, and just trying to keep everyone entertained while they're at home. So back to my Crescent Moon. Okay, good. Kylie said I'm right. So Tuesdays and Thursdays for Sama Altoona. Her and Neil are teaching, different lessons. So be sure to check them out. Crescent Moon, I'm going to get back to. Now, if you want, you can do a little outline. See here, it gets a little tricky. Again, it just all depends on your, your design and your pattern. I'm going to just jump in and do this one right here. Whoops, went out a little bit. Remember, no mistakes. So I'm going to go, let me see here. What do I want to do? I'm going to go and do another line. Now this is a case where if you're doing what I'm going to show you, you might want to give yourself a little bit of room. I don't think I gave myself enough room. I'm going to quit right there. But anyway, you can color these in. You could color this row in lighter. You could also give yourself a little pattern on those lines if you'd like. I'm going to switch it up a little bit and change my angle as I move. You could also, let me see here. We did the tipple earlier, which was a series of circles. You could do another row of smaller circles just to mix it up. Just keep it simple. I'm going to do another one down here. So say, we'll do this one. Easy peasy. What I'm going to do here, and again, there's no like right or wrong way to do these. I'm going to close off each circle here, and I'll quit right there. So maybe I'll do, I've seen it done like this too. I'm going to bounce in and out. I'll stop right there. And in each row, you could do something different. Again, you could go back to your lines. You could do your first row with little lines. You could do your second row with circles. You could use colored pencils and add certain colors. You could repeat. That's a nice thing about, Zentangles. Sometimes you're just repeating a pattern. Okay, and you can do something like that. Hey, Will. I see Will's watching again. So drop me a hi if you're watching so I can know who's here. I appreciate y'all joining me. So you can do a lot of things with that, but I will kind of let that one go. You can certainly have a lot of fun with it. Obviously, they all take time. I will. This one I loved. Let me see. It was one of my favorites. I shared it here when I was doodling. You can draw it almost like a cherry. And you can color them in black with a little white highlight, or you can leave them white with a little black highlight. Sorry, I needed to take a drink there. I have Dr. Pepper today. Hey, Patricia, welcome back. So another, if you're just joining in, we're doing, I even have it written here, enhancements for some of the tangles that we've learned. So poke root, again, I really liked that it was one of the fun ones. You could just do something squiggly like that, but don't forget to do your little line, your little stem, and then close it off. So then you could go and do these little squiggles everywhere. And just fill it in and have a little bit of fun with it. Okay? So you're still doing that tangle, but you're just changing it up a little bit. Hey, Kelly. It's nice to see you. Amy's on. Welcome, everybody. We're doing Zentangles, and I'm just showing how you can enhance them from some of the patterns, some of the tangles that we have done previously, yesterday and the week before. So this is poke root, but I also like this one. I'll show you guys this version. I'm going to draw that. That's our original poke root, and then you just kind of multiply it. but I like this one. Now what I'm going to do, I always like a nice starting point. So I'm going to close that off like we do. And then I'm going to give it fur or spikes, however you want to do it. And you can just continue to do that. We'll do that one too since I started it. You can make it fuzzy like that. Oh, this is harder than I thought when I just got started. Maybe we'll get rid of the line. Let's try that. I need like a guideline, guys. I don't know about you. So I gave myself a little dotted line to work from. That covers up better. You know, so you could do something like that. But again, just make sure to draw your stem and then close it off. You could also just do something fuzzy, almost like a dandelion, if you really wanted. And keep it simple. Okay. So those are two enhancements that you could do for poke root. The next one I wanted to show you guys was Flux, which is a tangle that we did yesterday. And let's see if I can flip back. So Flux was this tangle, very leaf-like, and we just added some decoration to it, little line, a couple little dots, and we also did some circles just to fill in some negative areas. Excuse me, I'm losing my voice. So I did my border and gave myself a string. You can see I erased a little bit and kind of made a mess, but we're going to focus on this little section here. It's nice to see Kelly, even though it's virtually. So this I liked because you could fill up a nice big space, and look at that. You don't even have to fill. Ooh, that one wasn't so pretty. That's okay. I don't want to do that either. Oh, goodness. So there you go. You can fill up a whole area if you want. And again, if you wanted to go in and add some of those designs that we were doing yesterday, you could. I'll do that quickly. This is just supposed to be nice and relaxing. You know, have fun. It's very free form, I think. Once you start getting some tangles to work with, if you wanted, you know, you could fill in your negative spaces there with your little circles if you'd like. Have a little bit of fun with it. Now on this side, I started small. I did give myself a little guideline. You know, I like my guidelines. So I'm going to start. These aren't that pretty. But you could carry this the whole way up your line. You could also start and work your way back the other way. Typically what I do, guys, is I just start in pencil, and then I'll go trace over with my markers. But you could, you know, carry this the whole way up. I didn't give myself a whole lot of space, but I think you get the idea. And then if you want it again to go and add your little embellishments, you are welcome to. Okay, I'll stop right there. I won't fill it in the whole way. I could probably be here doing this for hours, but I wanted to show some quick enhancements for some of the tangles that we've already learned. So, you know, that's another one for you if you're interested. I liked that one yesterday. I had a lot of fun with it. I created a design yesterday or last night using the 3 that I shared with you. So Jonqual was another one that we did. Here was the start of it. And I, colored in every other space black, and I was showing you how you could give yourself a little bit of shading there to make it a little 3-dimensional. So that's one way you can enhance it. You can also, I'll do this quick. I should have had more of these drawn out for you. Okay, I'm going to have to think about how my lines go. I'm going to do these bigger. So opposite lines. Each section has opposite lines, so you get your little zigzag effect. Okay. Gotta stop and think about that one for a second. So as you saw, we had some of them colored in. I'm not going to take the whole time to color it in black, but you could do every other row black, every other square you could color in if you wanted. I know my hand got tired when I was trying to work on this one, so this would give you a nice break if you wanted. The option I saw for this was like cross hatching. Anybody out there a drawer? You could do this and then bring your lines the opposite way. So there you have it. I mean, that's another way you could fill in your tangle. Easy peasy. You could change up your pattern a little bit if you wanted. I'd say it's more striking when your lines are closer together, but you can experiment and separate your lines a little bit more. Maybe give yourself a little bit of optical illusions there. So anyway, that's that one. That one didn't turn out as nice as my first one, but if you have these colored in very dark, they would look nice up against the ones that are not completely filled in. Okay. Hey, I got 2 more to show you. One I did start already. So anywho, there's that one. And again, that one was called the Jonqual. I forget what day we did that. It was my first week. So Knightsbridge is fairly easy. I have 4 variations to show you here. Just a series of lines crossing, intersecting, giving you boxes. Okay, so one thing you could do, similar to the one we just did, you could give yourself little zigzags every other one. I'm doing this kind of quick, but you could also take your time. So you can rotate the squares if you like. And change up your pattern a little bit instead of, coloring in, again, all these little squares. Just gives you a nice idea of how you can adjust the patterns and have a little bit of fun with them. Okay, so that was one version. Another one. Here, let's do another one here. I like this one. If you guys like the tipple tangle, you could just fill up with circles, various shapes and sizes if you wanted, or you could keep them all the same. depends on, you know, what you want to do, but that's a fun way to fill up your space. We'll just finish those ones here. Sometimes the circles can be tedious, but you know, in this case, it looks kind of neat. If you wanted, you could go in and shade the opposite one if you wanted. You can let them go. Again, lots of ways to do this. I have a few minutes left. Another one that I really liked for the Knight's Bridge, there was multiple patterns that I saw for this one. I thought they were really cool. Okay. This was similar to one that we did. So you could give yourself a couple lines, a couple bold lines in your squares. And rotate every other one. This one I really liked. And you know, it's nice, you can just keep it simple with your 3 lines, so you could do the edges. And your center. And I'm out of room there. So I will move on to the next row. And just repeat, making sure to have, you know, the opposite patterns going. Okay? Ta-da. Again, just some ways to do some enhancements to the already existing patterns that we've watched or that we've learned. Last one, and I will let you go, I promise. Oh, I lied. I have 2 there. I forget what this one was. Oh, I remember now. Took me a minute. So Hollibaugh, I liked. I'll jump back over here quickly. You start with one line, and then every other line you add is underneath it. So this one always remains on top. I know it sounds weird having rolls with Zentangles since they're supposed to be so freeing and relaxing. But that one has its own little roll. So I started it, and I'm going to add just a couple lines to get us started. And let's see here. We'll add another one here. And that one looks a little crooked. Okay, so I just have a few lines there. Now yesterday we learned the amaze, which was just like a series of squiggles. So instead of coloring it all black, which is very time consuming, I liked this using the amaze again, which is one we learned yesterday. You can, I'll move my hand out of the way, just a series of like squiggly lines creating a maze. One continuous line, and then I'm gonna quit and I'll jump over to my next station there. Okay. And that's kind of it. And again, if you wanted, you could shade a little bit where the lines overlap and give yourself a little bit of a cast shadow from the existing lines that are there. Okay. You can use your finger if you want. Blend it a little bit. You can use a tissue, paper towel. But anyway, the amaze was fun to, you know, throw in there so you don't have to color. And it's just, again, one continuous line, and that's it. So the Festune I liked. I had shared with you the other week. It was almost like our jellyfish. You start with a circle, and I guess, more of an oval shape in the center. And then what you do is you had these lines that kind of carried through out, and you put little circles on the end. So to embellish this one, what you could do is add little circles. Now I feel like it looks like a little spider or critter. And that's it. So you can go and add another one if you wanted. And again, don't be afraid, whoops, go doing it the old way, to color them in. Experiment with watercolors. That one's not completely great, but here's the original right here that we did last week. So, you know, it's just a fun way to you embellish it. You do little circles, little squares. Anyway, I just wanted to share some of these with you before we move on to some of our next steps. And I will share one last thing with you before I go. So here were the tangles that we learned yesterday. And that was what I created last night using the tangles that we created. So I just wanted to share with you, and I hope you'll share with me what you're doing. And as usual, I will upload a image for you guys to tangle if you'd like. It'll be uploaded as a JPEG, so if you want to print it out, you can. Just to give you guys, you know, a place to practice. I think it's always fun to, you know, fill in designs and not have to think about it sometimes. So I'll upload this in the comments. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Thanks for joining. And I will catch you tomorrow and teach you some new Zentangle patterns. Have a great day, everyone.